would sit down and eat together. I was like, okay, you just insulted each other, but they would sit down and eat. That's how you know you really love each other.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Evan.
And the Vanderpump stories just keep coming and coming and coming. And Evan, I don't know if there's an end in sight. And I don't know if I want an end.
Oh my God, no, keep them coming, baby. I mean, this last episode of Vanderpump Rules absolutely blew my mind. I'm sure you had some similar feelings about it. And Andy Cohen, he prepped us for this.
Guys, you're going to watch Wednesday's episode. You are going to think that it was recut. Okay? It was not recut.
He's the reason I went in with popcorn, magnifying glasses, because he was like, it's going to shake us all. Because it wasn't re-edited after Scandoval. And I'm assuming the part he's talking about is when Katie so eloquently talks about Raquel, Rachel's type.
It seems that she's only interested in men that her friends are either married to or interested in. And that is a big red flag for me.
Which is any person who is married or dating one of her friends, or one of her friends is interested in the man. So she had some foresight.
Oh my God, absolutely. It's like, it's really crazy to sort of like look at this season of Vanderpump Rules as this crystal ball into the whole Scandoval. And it's also, it's just a weird journey that we're seeing Raquel Rachel go on, where she is crying. She doesn't know who she is, but then secretly at the time was hooking up with Tom Sandoval. Like, when you jump into Tom's bed, is that where you figure out who you truly are? The tears came on the girls' trip.
Oh, she was fully Jean Valjean. Like, who am I? Like, she was really having her own Les Mis moment in that car. And the ladies came for her help.
They did. It was really interesting to see the juxtaposition of them talking smack while she was like drunkenly listening to them talking smack.
Hide your kids, hide your boyfriend, hide your boyfriend, hide your boyfriend.
In the hotel room in Vegas. But then when she wrote, when push came to shove and the girl couldn't breathe, Lala was telling her to breathe in through her mouth and out through her nose, which wasn't super helpful. But I think that the intention was there to sort of calm her nerves and at least like have her live through the car ride to Arizona.
Yeah, and I love too Lala doing that. And she did the thing like when you're driving and someone's crying, she just had like one hand like floating in the back trying to like pet Raquel to calm down, which really made me day. I mean, there's so much to talk about. There is a recap out all about the eagle eye moments of this Vanderpump Rules episode. Wait, but Evan, I feel like we maybe have the same winner for this episode. Charlie gave me life.
Wait, I've been saying this like for the past few episodes. We need to utilize Charlie more and more. She is such a strong player and doesn't get the...
Any Kid Rock fans?
Yes, yeah. But I was only sad that we didn't get to hear her sing Kid Rock.
I know.
Was it all... I'm thinking it was probably like Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
Oh,
and I want to know if Charlie or like who played what part in that karaoke situation. I feel like Raquel was definitely Sheryl Crow.
Right, or Charlie did both and Raquel just like harmonized in the back.
Yes.
And I didn't know a feud I kind of want is now Charlie and Christina Kelly when she called her lip balm girl.
She was coming for the lip balm. And do you know what? Good on Charlie for even mentioning it. Whether she was trying to be shady or not, I never knew that Christina Kelly had a line of lip balms. But what did I do? I immediately looked it up on Instagram and saw what she's doing, her little lip balms. And I'm a big lip balm fan.
Yeah, and I mean, well, we're in that area of the world over in Vanderpump Rules area. We do have to talk about LVP and Teddi Mellencamp. Teddi said she was being sarcastic on her podcast. Now we know because she commented on Page Six's Instagram account that we talked about the idea that she feels LVP like told Raquel to do this whole affair thing. Teddi was saying that it's for her like variety special, like she was joking and everything like that. I am just glad to see like the ladies still somehow in this stratosphere fighting. So it's giving me life on my own opinion.
I mean, and it's just a really interesting observation or, joke as Teddi is calling it. But it kind of does seem within the realm of possibility that Lisa would pay Raquel to hook up with Sandoval behind Ariana's back. And if that's the case, I mean, good on Raquel for getting another check, another stream of income. Why not? I mean, at this point, she has done everything
Oh,
to hurt her friends. I mean, you might as well get paid for it.
right. And that's the reason I know it's not true, because she like really like she didn't even get like dinner from any of these guys. I don't think she got a check from LVP.
Yeah.
I think she just planned herself. She got some more of those like strobe lights that she sleeps with, where I'm like, this is now the most terrifying thing I've learned about you.
Yeah, I was definitely shocked by the strobe galaxy lights, but I appreciated her commitment because she brought them from Vegas to Arizona. I mean, if it helps her sleep at night, do you know what? She probably needed something to help her sleep at night, knowing that she was having a secret affair with Sandoval. So if the strobe lights helped her get some shut eye, then good on the strobe lights and good on Raquel.
Now that is that. I could not sleep at night because I saw that Kathy and Kyle were at the same party. And while I thought that meant that they were kind of being like besties, like sisters from White Christmas, they're not talking, but they're just partying together.
Wait, before we get into it, we need to remake White Christmas starring Kyle and Kathy. That is a great idea. I
Lord
love
help
White
the mister.
Christmas. Because apparently, even though they'll post for photos together at Elton John's Oscars bash, they aren't speaking to each other. Things are still a little bit icy, reportedly. I don't know. And apparently, we're still holding out to see if Kathy's going to participate in the next season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is really interesting because, you know, it wasn't too long ago that she said, if Rinna or Erica participate, I'm not going to do it. Well, she got Rinna off the show and she manifested that, but not Erica. So she's sticking to her guns, you know, possibly.
I know. I feel we're going to take Kathy on. We will.
Think so?
I think because I would say if she never came back, that would be her going out on a high of the chance at BravoCon and everything like that. But she's gonna want to have a little more hunky-dory moments.
Well, I think that after, you know, you and I witnessed her relishing in those BravoCon chants, I don't think she wants to give that up. I don't think she wants to leave the Bravo sphere because, you know, Bravo fans are among the most passionate in all the world. And I think she wants to have her like tribe of acolytes still there to chant her name and worship her like the friend of legend that she is.
And the thing is, were we also chanting her name? Potentially. I mean, she does have a power. There was a power going on there. But I love that you brought up the power of the Bravo fans, because I feel like the Bravo fandom is why RHONY Legacy is pushing along and is like really on the tip of everybody's tongue. It was paused, but we just talked to Kelly Bensimon, who filled us in a little bit about what could be the next steps for it.
Yeah, things are moving and shaking, and Kelly hopes to be part of the project. And she had some ideas about what RHONY Legacy might look like after Jill kind of got in the middle and pushed that pause button.
That's what I think Jill was saying on Jeff Lewis's show recently, that she was like, they gave me an offer and I said, I don't want that. And then everything was kind of like, so it was, and she was saying not everyone is being paid the same. Is that kind of the vibe that it's going around?
I think it's like, you know, we always talk about business, like the art of negotiation. And I think that like the way you negotiate, like it's not, my dad always says, it's not what you ask for, it's how you ask for it.
I see. So maybe Jill could have asked in a different way.
Maybe if you ask in a different way, you might get what you want.
Were you then disappointed when negotiations came to a stall? You know, when Jill said what she had to say, and then it, you know, kind of went on pause. Were you upset?
I mean, you know, upset wasn't like I was like boo-hoo, tear. No, I mean, but I was disappointed. It's definitely disappointed because, you know, here, like we know each other really well. And you know, we remember there was like always like when we were on first, like fake friends, all this, you know, stuff, Mean Girls, all this stuff. Like we know each other. We've all been through a lot. And so, and I think it's actually a great group of women because we get along so well. And like I always say, there's just so much at stake. There's so much to celebrate, but there's so much at stake because we are real friends and we know everything about each other. We've really been connected off camera for all these years, what that you guys haven't seen. So you don't know what our relationships really look like. And they're tight.
Because you guys are so close too, when the Jill wrench kind of started, as I guess we'll now call it, were you guys in like a group chat, like, come on, or like, what are we going to do now? Like, any thoughts? Or were you all just like, let's see what happens next?
No, I mean, you know, obviously I called Jill, you know, I talked to Luann all the time.
And I mean, we could talk to Kelly Bensimon for so much longer, which you'll be able to hear actually next Tuesday. But we need to give you guys a little taste of our chat with Alexia and Marysol, not only from Real Houses of Miami, but from the long-awaited for season 3 of Ultimate Girls Trip. Evan, and this trip to Thailand, it's a trip.
Yes, there was so much to talk about with Alexia and Marysol. We had, of course, Girls Trip, which is coming out soon. And then we're right in the thick of the Miami reunion. And the two topics kind of converged when Alexia and Marysol, they spilled a little bit of tea. So, you know their fight with Adriana de Moura on the show? Well, apparently things got heated behind the scenes once Adriana found out that Marysol and Alexia were chosen to be on Girls Trip. They thought she was a little jelly, which they also believe contributed to some of her behavior on this season of Miami. So check out what they had to say.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I love the song. Doesn't mean I like her, but I love her. I like her song.
Wait, speaking of fire and speaking of her, we are also not only gearing up for Girls Trip season 3, but we are in the middle of this very heated Miami reunion. How are things currently between you two and Adriana? Did we find any resolution at the reunion?
Nope. Well, I mean, you'll have to watch because, you know, we still have a second part and a third part. There's a lot, you know, and I feel like in order to have a resolution, like for me, it has to be real because for me, it's all about being genuine and authentic. So, you know, I'm not going to say sorry for something that I'm not sorry about, which I already said that. I have to feel it in my heart. And then when you're talking to somebody that has a history and a pattern of, you know, of lies and of her being the aggressive one and the bully and how she's deflecting from her situation. And she's trying to paint this picture of me this season of somebody that I am not. And I've just had to keep on defending myself, you know, and I felt like in the reunion.
Broken and wounded. I will forward the broken and wounded stuff. Help me. She was on an app 5 years ago hitting on my ex, and then she wants us to be worried about her because she got divorced 2 years ago. That math doesn't even make sense.
Well, exactly. Well, legally divorced because
so
she was separated she was separated a long time ago from Frederick, and she got legally divorced because divorces take long for whatever reasons. But what I'm trying to say is like just a 3-part reunion, not even a 10-part reunion would have fixed my friendship with her. Because first of all, like, you know, you have to come. I'm willing to talk if you come with the truth. If you're going to come with lies, I'm out. And I think that that's what's happening. And even after the reunion, which is even more disappointing, is the fact that she went on a press tour to badmouth myself and my family. Just to bash us. I mean, this is all she's doing. She's deflecting, bringing things up from the past, things that I said.
But if she was really sorry about what she said, then why would she do that? She's taking
That's
it all
what I'm
back.
saying. Well, hello, thank you. I'm proving my point.
We know why she doesn't like us because we got to go on Ultimate Girls Trip.
Ultimate Girls Trip.
Really?
You see, there ties right in. Oh, yes.
The minute
100% good point, Marysol.
I told Alexia, don't tell the girls because somehow Adriana will find out. We knew all the girls would be happy for us, but we knew Adriana would be pissed. And the minute she found out, we get to the Bahamas, you get attacked on the bus, and it never stops.
Correct.
I'm sorry, in the Keys.
Yes.
The Keys.
Yeah. In the Keys, not the Bahamas.
On the plane in the Keys.
So I was so excited because we had just found out that we were going on the Ultimate Girls Trip. I was happy that Miami was going. I was happy, you know what, representation, Miami. You know, we just had one season and we come back. Everyone's loving us. We're going with Potomac, Salt Lake City. I was happy. And, you know, when I'm happy and I think I want to share my happy news. And I thought everybody else would be. Well, you know, we're all part of this. But, well, you knew because, you know, you and Adriana secretly have a rivalry because you're both friends. And then Marysol is my friend. So, you know, she'd probably rather be friends with me. It's deep. You know, it's deep. What? And it stems back. It has a lot of backstory. No, yes, you do, because that's what it is. She does with you, and you know that. She was jealous that you came back, that everybody loves you, that you're so funny, that people relate to you. And she was the one that came back attacking Larsa, not being nice. And she's always played that card.
This is so interesting. That really adds a lot of context to the conflict you guys were facing when you were traveling together. You think that she was jealous that you two were asked to go to Thailand?
100%. And Marysol always knew it. Marysol told me,
said,
please
do
don't
not
tell
let her
them.
find out. She is going to make us pay for it. We're going to have a hellish season. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow. Because the shit does seem after that trip, because Miami, you guys were having, I mean, so much was happening in the season, but it was so fun too. You guys were all like one unit, but then after that trip is when the divide started to happen.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need to listen to the boozer.
And you know, because you and Marysol are kind of like that friendship unit. And that's why I was so excited you guys are on the podcast together. Because I got worried in the trailer seeing some screaming back and forth. Did you guys have a tense moment? And what happened with that? How'd we get through it?
Well, that was the last night. And Alexia and I were the only girls sharing a room. So we had cameras, suitcases on top of us. We couldn't reach our family. We were in a different time zone. I was sick. And on the last night, we blew up. But by the way, Giselle helped because she fingered us.
Giselle, it's your fault.
Giselle was
That sounds right.
We love you, Giselle.
Giselle was like, these are the only two that haven't fought. And there's it's the last night.
It happens, but we're good. Fine. You know, we're sisters. That's what we're saying. Like, we love it. You know, we love like sisters. We fight like sisters. And, you know, we can say all that shit to each other. And then we'll be like, you know, hugging and kissing. Like, you know, we just go on like if nothing. But, you know, it did make it better, I guess. Just
we had a hard night. We both didn't sleep very well. And the next day we woke up, we were like crying. I'm like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. And then we just kind of hugged it out.
Again, I think it's because we brought it in from the season prior to that. You know, we were filming till last minute. 7-8 days later, we got on the plane for Thailand. So I think that all the girls, not only Miami, you know, brought in back, you know, like a backstory from their season. So obviously that transferred over to the Ultimate Girls Trip.
You know, Danny and I are obsessed with your friendship, like totally BFF goals. For the girls who still aren't getting along, because Whitney and Heather, they're not getting along in real life right now. Giselle and Candace have definitely seen better days. What advice could you give them to possibly mend fences, make things better? Or like, do you see hope for those pairs of girls?
Well, I personally think that like Potomac, Candace and Giselle probably met doing the show. They're not friends from before. But Heather and Whitney are family from
And they don't have to like each other. That's the other thing. Sorry.
Like, they don't have to like each other.
You know, no, you have to be civil because we're co-workers. So if you really like your job, you have to, you know,
make an effort. But Heather and Whitney need to figure it out because they're actually related. And they ended up on a show together, and it makes me sad to see that they don't.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it needs to be between Heather and Whitney. It's only about them too, you know, because even if we were going to help in any way, I mean, how uncomfortable is that? Like for them to just like to spill their guts just there in front of all of us, which are strangers, by the way. So, you know, I feel they have to find their own time and just make it about them too. Without the cameras. I know the viewers like to see everything and it's not, but you know, sometimes you got to get to that place. I do think that they love each other. Even when they were fighting, you could still see, right, Marysol? Like when they were like not getting along, they still cared about each other. They would sit down and eat together. I was like, okay, you just insulted each other, but they would sit down and eat. That's how you know you really love each other.
And if you want more of Alexia and Marysol, which we're assuming you definitely do, tune in tomorrow because Evan, what do we have for them?
A whole lot of tea. It's spilling everywhere. Grab your napkins.